Well, I think everything is on the table. Trade options. Skip, he has a very manageable cap number. They picked up the fifth-year option. It's a little less than $19 million, which is very, very manageable. When you look at certain guys, like Cousins, I think, have like $45 million cap hit. Dak's at $34 million. Jared Goff's at $31 million. So I believe that this cap number is very manageable if they were to bring him back. Now, Skip, I'm going to put feelers out there. Aaron Rodgers can't do anything but tell me no. Russell Wilson can't tell me anything but no. Let's see how we're going to have an entire offseason to gauge what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. He has a no trade. Russell has a no trade. The only thing they can say is, no, we do not want to be a part of your organization. But I think I owe it to myself. I owe it to the organization, and I owe it to the fans of Cleveland, the great fans of Cleveland that have stayed loyal to this organization, even though they haven't given them anything to stay loyal for. They owe it to them to put feelers out there and to see if these three guys are available. Now, are they in love? They don't really have any, they do have draft. They don't have any draft capital. Yes, you do. The 49ers, what they did, Skip, what do? If you believe that there's a quarterback in this draft that's going to take you to a place that you don't believe Baker can get you to, you mortgage this year's first and next year's first for an opportunity to move up and select a quarterback, said quarterback. But for me, Skip, there is zero. Whatever less than zero is, whatever that negative integer is towards Baker Mayfield getting an extension. Now, we just saw Josh Allen get $250 million. We saw Patrick Mahomes get $500 million. We saw what Dak got. I think Dak got, basically 4 years, $160 million.
Well, he gets 75 this year. Guaranteed 75.
Well, Skip, it's going to look.
And sometimes he's played like he's worth about $7.50 an hour, $7.50 an hour.
You wait till that first round playoff game. You're going to come here that Monday. You're going to be very upset.
Well, you're going to be very upset because you're going to lose 5 more cases.
Okay. But, Skip, I just think the thing is that Baker has not given them the bang for the buck that they thought when they selected him number one overall, Skip. He's 26 in QBR. He's ahead of Sam Darnold, who you have no respect for, and 3 rookies. That's where Baker Mayfield is, Skip.
Well, I have no respect because you said Sam Darnold is going to be the best quarterback in that crop.
And you told me Baker Mayfield, and he's third best at best. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are all better than Baker Mayfield.
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. And Skip, stop bringing up the injuries. You're out there playing. Baker Mayfield is he's injured. Skip Bayless told me he has a torn labrum in his left shoulder and a fractured shoulder. Is that what you told me, Skip Bayless?
I didn't need to tell you because that's just the truth and the fact.
Hey, DJ, do we got a little clip? I'm going to show you something. This is what a guy with a torn labrum and a fractured shoulder did last night. Yep. Now, watch this.
This is pure guts.
No.
Thank you for showing this. This is pure high pain threshold. That is Trey Norwood.
He could have run out of bounds.
That is his fellow University of Oklahoma graduate, Trey Norwood.
Look at this. He could have gone out of bounds. That's his left shoulder.
Pure guts. And they pointed out, I know you keep the sound down, but the announcers last night correctly pointed out that took some nerve and some pain threshold.
Right. And it also took a 16 QBR to do what he did last night.
What did Ben have last night?
You know what, Skip Bayless? You're absolutely right. Big Ben had a 12, and Baker Mayfield couldn't beat him.
But he beat him in QBR.
He couldn't beat him. Hold on. Did you know, Skip, Ben Roethlisberger at one point in time had 34 attempts that left him 100 yards. We couldn't find, in the last week of Stats Inc., whatever they chose, we couldn't find a situation prior to that that somebody had that many pass attempts and that few yards. We're still trying to find. He ended up with 46 pass attempts for 123 yards. At one point in time, I almost tweeted, but then I got sidetracked. I said, Ben might have 50 attempts and less than 100 yards. He was well on his way. Skip, it was sad watching Ben play last night because I told you, Skip, it was 1 year too late, and we got an opportunity. He can't push the ball. He can't throw a simple out. But back to your originally scheduled program in Baker Mayfield, Skip. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I'm exploring all options. I know I have in the bag this fifth-year option that I've already picked up, which is a little less than $19 million. I am not giving Baker Mayfield a long-term extension because I am not convinced that he's the long-term solution to the problem that I have going on in Cleveland. I play this. I'm going to let this thing play itself out, but I'm putting calls into Aaron Rodgers' agent. I'm putting calls into Russell Wilson's agent and Deshaun Watson's agent because all they can do is tell me no. But I want to tell Baker Mayfield, no, we don't want you back in this organization. That's what I want to tell him.
So it intrigues me that Shannon Sharpe, the Hall of Famer, goes scathing on Baker Mayfield. He's a bust, but you got to give him a chance next year and see what you got.
Skip,
okay.
Hold on, time out.
I don't. Which is it? You should just say cut bait.
Hold on, Skip.
Done. Get him out of our sight.
I might need a look. I got an old beat up car. I gotta do that for like 30, 40 minutes in the morning, just because that's the only thing that I got. I can't just go get a new car. I can't. I can't afford it. I can't afford it.
You got draft picks?
I can't afford it.
Yes, you
but
can.
Right now,
you can afford it.
Look, right now, I'm in no hurry to do anything. I tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to rush out there and buy a new one. I'm not going to give Baker Mayfield a long-term extension, and neither will the Cleveland Browns.
So he's basically done in Cleveland. It's just like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Skip.
Right?
I'm just waiting for something. Look, it's done.
So Baker's house in the commercial is about to be somebody else's house. He's just renting right now?
Yeah, I don't know. Progressive ain't going to have to say. I mean, him doing progressive commercials and not being in Cleveland, I don't know if it's going to have the same pizzazz.
That's finite. We're counting down to the bitter end of the progressive commercials?
They probably look. I mean, he's all in now, so I don't see how you get him up out of there.
Okay, so here's what's going on right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. The Baker hate is in full flood today because it is mostly detonated by the billions of Odell idolaters out there who are saying, see, it was Baker's fault. Look how bad he was last night. It was horrible. Get him out of our sight. This whole year, he's a disaster.
Yes,
he's a bust, and it was his fault that Odell didn't make it in Cleveland. And by the way, Odell now in L.A. has been there for 7 games, and he is catching 3.6 balls a game. 3.6?
How many touchdowns
for
does he have?
Grand total of 41 yards receiving per game.
Does anybody in Cleveland have 5 TDs?
With 41 yards? Are you kidding me? He's the 4th option in L.A. because that's who he is and who he was for Baker Mayfield.
4th option going to the playoff versus the number 1 option going home.
Now let's go back to what has really happened this year. The God's truth about what has happened. And I'm going to refer to an article by Jake Trotter that appeared yesterday on ESPN.com that nailed this from start to finish. And the biggest takeaway was just 1 year ago, it would have seemed unthinkable that Mayfield and the Browns could split. Because just 1 year ago, Baker Mayfield was at the end of a beautiful run, a stunning run that had shut up all the Baker haters around the country, starting with the one across the table from me. You were just deathly quiet all that run because it went for 11 games at the end of the year last year without Odell, knocking on wood for Odell. He got hurt at Cincinnati, and Baker suddenly and not coincidentally took off. 20 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. And funny, he started to look like that quarterback as a rookie who was graded by Pro Football Focus to have the 3rd best rookie season, overall rookie season in the last 15 years. That year, as a rookie, he was 3rd in the NFL with what they call big-time throws, 40 of them, ranked 3rd, and he didn't even get to start all the games because Hugh Jackson thought he should be the backup.
He missed 2 starts. Stop it, Skip.
Well, he didn't start all the games, and he still finished 3rd in big-time throws as a rookie. And I said, voila, there he is. That's why I would have taken him number 1. And then to start into the sophomore year, you started to drive the bandwagon on our show. Shake and bake, baby. I love this kid, right? And then Odell started to rise and not so much shine because Baker started to force feed the ball to Odell, and it is lethal if you start to do that at the expense of everybody else that you used to spread the ball to. So then we continue on into year 3, and Odell gets hurt at Cincinnati, and Baker takes off and goes on a run of 20 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, culminating in a playoff victory just 1 year ago in that same stadium that you were watching him in last night. Baker Mayfield lit up the Pittsburgh Steelers when they were flying pretty high. They were a playoff team, and their defense was playing at a pretty high level because they had run off an 11-game win streak during that year, including 1 win at my Cowboys.
And who said they weren't legit? Early on.
Okay.
Who said the Steelers weren't legit?
Well, Baker made them look not very legit because Baker lit them up with 3 touchdown passes and 48 points.
Defense gave him 6 turnovers, but okay.
And guess what Baker's QBR was that night? It was a 91 that day, actually. 91. That's on a scale of 0 to 100. It was one of the top QBRs in all the playoffs last year. And that guy looked like the answer in Cleveland. So then we fast forward to the first game this year, and he comes right out firing at Kansas City. Do you remember this game?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, at Kansas City. Baker opens up by throwing for 321 yards against the Kansas City Chiefs at Kansas City, and they scored touchdowns on their first 3 times they touched the football, right?
They did that.
Okay? They did lose that game.
They did? How?
But Baker wound up 21 of 28 for 321. I'd say that's franchise quarterback stats, right?
Well, hold on. How you going to lose a game that you had a 12 to 17-point lead?
Well, it's because it's Patrick Mahomes on the other side when he was still Patrick Mahomes before he had come completely apart and his confidence wheels had all fallen off.
They fall off, okay.
You got him at his best in the opening game in his state, in his house, right? So then we go to game 2 that year. And what happened? Baker starts off just on fire against the Houston Texans, and he completes his first 9 passes that game. Boy, he looked like a franchise quarterback to me. But on his 11th pass of the game, it did get picked. And Justin Reed is returning the football, and Baker says, I'm a tough guy. I don't take this from anybody. And Baker sprints across the field and flies into Justin Reed and tears his labrum trying to make the tackle. And on top of that, he fractures his shoulder. And I told you from that moment forward, I'm pretty sure, I said it's almost certain he's going to need surgery on that torn labrum.
Right.
Well, right on time. What did they all but announce yesterday? He's going to need surgery, and he's going to have surgery sooner than later. In fact, I think they'll just give it up right here. The only reason he played last night is because they prepared to play, because they thought if your Chiefs that you had picked to win at Cincinnati on Sunday, if they had won that game, Baker and company would be sitting right in the middle of the division race. So he had prepared to play the game last night. Shouldn't have been playing all year because I told you he is beat all to hell.
Okay, Skip.
He needs surgery, and I think they'll just go ahead and have it right here this week because they are out of the playoffs.
Okay, how about this? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, I can concede that to you. That Baker Mayfield has a torn labrum and a fractured shoulder blade. If that's the case, why were you constantly blaming Odell for his struggles? Okay,
I just said you're force-feeding the ball to an Odell who is a shell of himself because he has had 3 surgeries in the last 4 years, and he's lost some quickness, and he's lost some burst, and he's lost a little confidence in game in his hands.
It didn't look like it. The way he plucked that 4th down, it didn't look like he lost confidence. Really? But if that's the case, so who's he forcing the ball to now?
He had the 4th most receiving yards for the Rams.
Okay, well, who is Baker forcing it to now?
Okay, well, he doesn't have anybody left.
Oh, no, he don't got nobody.
So what happened? What happened? What did I tell you? I first guessed this. I told you, and I have a source within that organization, very good source, who told me that this team basically started to quit on Baker Mayfield because Odell is beloved in that locker room. Odell is godlike. You are a mentor to him, and you revere him because you're close to him, and you think he's got a good heart, and he's got a lot of talent, and I agree with all of the above. He's just beat up. He might be even more beat up than Baker is at this point. But the point is that on social media, his aura, his mystique, his impact is still so huge that he's treated like a superstar that he can't live up to anymore. Baker was in awe of Odell. Baker considered Odell a close friend. He also considered Jarvis Landry a very close friend, and those two are the closest of friends. And what has come clear since the Browns dumped Odell, Jarvis has basically quit on that team because his heart is no longer in it, because he's made it clear he didn't really want to play without Odell. Okay?
No, what's clear, what the locker room sees is Baker's not it. Well, you can prop him up all you want to, but those guys in the locker room...
All right, so they are quitting on him because Jarvis has become a shell of himself.
Oh, now he's a shell. Everybody's a shell of himself except Baker.
Because he's not into it anymore. So what did Alex Van Pelt, the coordinator who used to be Aaron Rodgers' guy, remember? Aaron was very upset when he was cut loose in Green Bay, right? Yep. Alex Van Pelt is now Baker's coordinator, and he said just the other day that it's talking about his torn labrum and the harness that Baker has worn the whole year on his left shoulder, which, by the way, popped out about 3 games into his injury. Remember when J.J. Watt fell on him and the shoulder popped out and he actually had to miss a game with that. But Alex Van Pelt said the shoulder harness definitely is something that has hindered and handicapped him. You can just see in his mechanics down that left side, he gets stuck in there at times, and it's a struggle for him. Hopefully next year without the harness, you'll see Baker back to normal with his normal throwing mechanics. He has fought through it. We have a lot of respect for the fact that he has battled through that, and we know he's injured. I'll leave it at that. Well, I've been leaving it at that the whole year long because there's no way he should have been playing. How many times did I say, just stop it, get him out of there?
Okay, Skip.
Because he is his own worst enemy. He's just saying, I'm a tough guy, and I'm going to gut it up and gut it out and play it.
Okay, I'm going to concede that he's hurt. Well, if he's hurt, why do you continuously blame Odell?
I'm not blaming Odell.
Yes, you did. You say he force-feeding Odell.
Okay, that's what happened 2 years ago.
So last year,
I told you it's no coincidence. Just look at the numbers without Odell. Once the sky was cleared of Odell, the mystique hanging over Baker like a cloud, all of a sudden Baker took off.
So what about the year? What about before Odell got there?
Okay, well,
so why did they go get Odell? If Baker Mayfield was all that, why would they go get Odell?
Because most of the people, remember the former GM, he thought that Odell was still a superstar, right?
Well, I tell you what, this guy, I ain't no GM, and I'm not a pro personnel guy, but I told you Baker Mayfield isn't a superstar, and that's not what he's going to be.
Okay. Well, I'm here to tell you that I hope and pray that the Cleveland Browns see fit to just cut bait and let him go. I dare them today to let him go because he has big-time ability, he has big-time leadership ability, and right now
are we sure he has big-time leadership ability?
Right now he's caught in a viper's nest. That team is a viper's nest. That locker room is a mess right now of a split between players who love Odell and some love Baker. And right now,
it must be the offensive line.
Yeah, you want to talk about, hey, did the offensive line look like it did quit on Baker last night? It sure did. He got sacked 9 times last night. And by the way, he just kept firing. And I agreed with what he said after the game. Anybody who questions my toughness should just put this tape in because, to your point, that was some. I'm glad you showed that one run, and I want to show some other plays because he just kept firing in the second half. He would not quit.
Did a lot of missing.
We could see some of his good throws in the second half. Yeah,
he had 22 misses.
He threw for 127 yards just in the second half because he just kept flinging it. That's his best receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who is now graded the 40th best receiver by Pro Football Focus in the NFL. There's one, a touchdown to Njoku. That looked pretty good to me.
He was hurt. He hurt. How you throw a touchdown and he hurt?
Here's your play of plays. This is a gutty. This is a 3rd and long scramble. He just said, I got this. Baker's got good wheels now. He can run it. And he decides to run over Trey Norwood just to say, watch what I do with my busted shoulder. That's a pretty good throw to Donovan Peoples-Jones. That was on 4th and 10.
Yeah.
Late. So he has 2 late touchdown drives, and it forced a late onside kick that Pittsburgh did recover, and then Najee got loose and went for the clinching touchdown.
Oh,
right?
So
I saw 127 yards of Baker hurt, sucking it up after he had gotten the you-know-what kicked out of him by getting sacked 9 times.
Skip, think about what you're doing. You're commending a man that threw for 127 yards.
Hurt.
127.
Yeah, he probably needs surgery tomorrow, and he may well get it tomorrow or the next day.
Skip, he's not it.
Well, that's what you've been saying, but you just discount the fact of what did we see as a rookie and what did we see last year? We saw franchise.
Whoa. So you gonna jump over his sophomore year, you jump over his senior year, and go straight to his rookie year and his junior year. What happened to those other 2 years?
Baker Mayfield finished top 10 in QBR last year, and that was mostly without Odell?
Yeah.
Would you believe that?
And guess what? He spent most of this year without Odell because Odell been gone for 8 weeks. So this will be his 9th week. Odell has been gone. So you straight.
I just hope the Cleveland Browns can go get somebody. Let's see. Would Russell Wilson waive his no-trade clause to go to the Browns? I don't think so. Would Aaron Rodgers say, I think I want to go to Cleveland? I don't think so. Right. Who is it? Jimmy G? Jimmy G? Who you want? Jimmy G or Baker? I'll take Baker any day.
I'll take Jimmy G.
Okay, well, there. Good. Congratulations. Go forward.
Jimmy G.
Yeah. It's why the 49ers went and got Trey Lance, who, by the way, looked really good the other day, and he is the near future in San Francisco.
Well, rest this so Jimmy the Greek probably could play quarterback better than Baker.
Really?
You know that.
Okay.
He probably could.
Oh, okay.
Probably could have.
All right. Well, put your money where your mouth is. Let's cut him loose and let him go somewhere. Let him go to the Texans or somebody and just start fresh. Clear the decks. Let's start over.
You do realize no matter what transpires, he's the #1 overall draft pick, and there's a possibility he'd be playing elsewhere. That means he wasn't a success. You do understand how this works, right?
Yep. Sometimes circumstances work against you.
He's a part of the circumstance.
Yep. Odell wrecked Baker Mayfield.
See, you can. That Odell out there balling in L.A. He balling.
He's catching 3 balls a game for 40 yards.
3 important balls.
Oh, 3 important balls.
Let me ask you a question. In the Super Bowl, how many passes did David Tyree catch?
I don't care.
How many did David Tyree catch?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a great analogy.
Exactly.
David Tyree, I think, he caught 6 all year.
And caught the most important one in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Odell caught the 4th down. That without that catch,
boy,
you
that
don't
was
win that game. Yeah, and then that tub. You see that tub, how he snagged that thing and got across it?
Yeah. Pretty soon it's going to be Matt Stafford's fault. You're already starting to lean that way.
No. Hold on. You know what?
Matt Stafford's thrown 5 picks in the last 2 games.
So was that Odell's fault?
Ooh.
He got 4 pick sixes.
Maybe he's getting a little Odell-centric, Odell-conscious.
And none of those pick sixes were he throwing the ball to Odell. None of those were where he was throwing the ball to Odell.
Troubled team. We're going to talk about Jalen Ramsey actually slugging a teammate during the game.
Hey, we'll talk about that, but I'm just talking about, Baker Mayfield slugged his teammate. Like, I ain't taking y'all nowhere.
Yep, I agree. This team has turned on Baker. They don't want Baker. Good for them. Congratulations. Next?
Turned on him.
Next.
When were they ever with him?
Well, they were with him.
I don't think they believed
godlike Odell was there.
I don't think they ever believed totally in Baker Mayfield. Only you did.
I never believed in Odell. I didn't believe from the start.
And I don't believe in Baker.
Yep.
Odell's resume speaks for itself.
Odell made the greatest catch ever in the history of pro football against my Dallas Cowboys, and they lost that game.
And guess what? Baker done lost a lot of games.
Odell's played 1 playoff game in his life. And wait, he went to South Beach to prepare for a game on the frozen tundra and dropped the first 3rd down pass?
He's about to play some more this year.
Is that right?
He's about to play some more this year.
Well, I hope so for his sake, because Baker has 1 big playoff win on his resume, and it was in that stadium against that team 1 year ago. And in 1 year, Shannon Sharpe has concluded he's a bust.
No, I didn't say he was a bust.
Yeah, you did.
I'm just saying he's not that guy.
Okay.
That guy, the #1 overall pick, the franchise-altering guy, he's not that.
I say he'll go somewhere else, I hope, and take another team to the playoffs, and you'll be sitting over there getting quiet.
No, Skip, you do realize as the #1 overall pick as a quarterback, taking a team to the playoffs isn't good enough. You do realize that as Troy, as Terry Bradshaw, as Peyton Manning, as John Elway.
You realize that a quarterback gets taken #1 overall almost every year. So is that a birthright that all of a sudden you're supposed to be the Super Bowl winner?
Yeah, no.
There's only 1 Super Bowl a year.
Whoa. If you're that guy. They said he's that guy.
Well, I'm not saying he's not that guy.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
No.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.